Good morning, everyone. So, this is the last class on compass surveying, and this class is relevant to closed traverse, and this particular topic deals with relevant to closed traverse and closing error. So, most of the times in your examination, you find one typical question on this. You will be asked to give the relevant formula for two methods to correct the closed traverse. Okay, so first let us understand what is closing error, then we will move ahead with the problem and the two methods which are very important. So let us understand what is closing error first. So imagine you have uh, an area to be surveyed. In the diagram you can see that A, B, C, D, E, A is one such area to be surveyed. Okay. Now, if you want to survey this area, then first thing what you need to do is you need to go and inspect the different boundaries. Boundary is nothing but A, B, C, D, E. So this is the boundary of the area. Now, AB is one line, BC is one more line, CD, DE, EA. These are the number of lines. So whenever you want to carry out any kind of survey, first thing is to know the length of the line and then the direction of that line. So most of our survey work, you observe the data or you measure the data from the field, then you come to office, then you represent it into a diagram. So what you have observed from the field, that has to be transferred into a diagram. For an example, when you have a plot, if a house is to be constructed, the first thing what you need to do is you need to go and inspect the land, then you measure the land, then based on the direction and the length of the land, you plan the building into the place. So that is the reason why length of every line is very important and direction of the line is also very important. So imagine that you have the points A, B, points A, B, C, D, E on the ground, right? On these points, let us say that you have fixed ranging rods. So ranging rods are kept on 5 different points, right? Now you want to measure the length of every line so that the one which is there in the field can be transferred into a paper to a smaller size, right? So scaling has to be done, like what length you have in the field, same length cannot be drawn over a paper. You need such a big paper, so that is why we convert that into some suitable length in the paper, then we draw it. Now when we have 5 different points lying on the ground, what we will do is we will first measure the length of all the lines, like AB is 1, BC, CD, DE, then EA. So length, if you just look at the table, you have the length of all the lines. AB is 80 meter, BC is 50, CD is 60, DE is 40 and EA is 55. So this is just an example, okay? They have nothing to do with any sort of problem. So you have measured the length of all the lines and then you found that these are the length of the lines. Then after this you need to know the direction of every line, in which direction the line is there on the ground. So when you need such a thing, then what you generally do is, now look at this, like AB is one such line, right? Length of AB is given 80 meter, right? Now if I want to know what is the direction, then the first thing what comes to my mind is bearing of the line. Bearings are the best form of showing the direction of a particular line, isn't it? If I simply say that there is a line of 80-meter length on the ground, then I cannot able to draw where exactly the line is. So when I know what is the bearing of the line, then I can fix up the point and then I can mark that line of certain length. Now AB is one such line of length 80 meter, right? Now what I will do is I will keep the compass on point A, then I will sight point B through the compass. You know how the compass is to be worked with. So compass, once you fix up at point A, then you will carry out the temporary adjustment, then you sight point B, right? So when you sight point B, whatever the angle what it shows, that is nothing but the bearing of that line, right? Now the bearing, imagine that you have kept the compass on A and you have sighted point B, and in the compass it shows 300 degree that you have written here, right? Now when you have observed the bearing of line AB, what you will do, you will go further and you keep the compass on point B and you observe the bearing of next line, that is BC. So bearing of line BC is 15 degree, right? So similarly CD has got 100 degree, DE has got 140 and EA has got 195 degree as the bearing of the lines. So I have the observations made in the field, right? So there were 5 points lying on the ground. I have measured the distance between the points, then I have measured the bearing of all the lines. Now what I should do, I should come to the office, then I need to draw it. So when I have to draw the whole thing in the form of a diagram in the office, what I need to do first is first have the north line drawn, right? So generally vertically upward north line will be the one which is general way of doing it. So like here, like this, right? So this is north. Then assume that this itself is point A, right? I hope you are able to see this. So this itself is point A, right? So this is point A. Now point A is this, and you have kept the compass. Assume that you have kept the compass here, and this is north direction, upward. AB has got bearing of 300 degrees. So from north, measured in clockwise direction, right? So clockwise means this, right? 300 degree. So how it will be? So 90, 180, 270, then 300. So like this, right? So if I have to show you that this way, isn't it? So this is point A, right? So this is, and this angle is 300 degree, isn't it? So you have drawn line AB and length of AB is 80 meter. So same length 80 meter cannot be drawn in the paper, isn't it? You need to convert that. So 80 will be drawn as 8 centimeter. So what will be the conversion? Like 10 meter will be equal to 1 centimeter in the paper. So it is going to be 1 centimeter is equal to 10 meter scale. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 meter. So that is the scale being adopted, right? So point B is fixed, this point, right? And here also the north will remain same, north will not change, right? So this is point B. Now you keep the compass on point B, then you observe, you draw the next line, isn't it? So next line has got 15 bearing. So 15 in the sense what? It will be like this, because this is 15, isn't it? Measured in clockwise direction. And length of BC is 50 meter, isn't it? So the length here has to be 5 centimeter. So as you have drawn 8 centimeter for the AB line, so you are going to draw 5 centimeter for the next one, right? Now moving ahead with the same way, you will complete the whole traversing, isn't it? You are drawing this in the paper. You have observed these data from your field and you have come across with this observation. The same thing is being drawn as this, right? So when you complete the whole diagram, you should end up EA should be joining point A. When you finally draw the last line, that is EA, 55 meter with 195 degree, it should completely join with point A, isn't it? If it doesn't join, then comes the closing error. Look at this, right? This is what the diagram you will get if there is any error, right? So instead of having this point joining this, you have a different point. A dash is the last point, right? If all the parameters are correct, if all the bearings are correct, then A dash will be falling exactly on point A. Now you don't have that because there is error in the bearings observed, right? So bearings may be wrong, or even sometimes the length may be wrong, but even when you have such a error, still it is possible to remove that error and get the data. Now moving ahead, now if you just see that you have started with point A, then you have drawn A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, A in the paper, then you have not found this A dash joining at A. So this A dash is the closing error. Closing error is this A dash. This A dash have got some length, right? A dash has got some length. So it has got length and it has got even direction, remember, because it is not along a certain line. It has got direction as well as it has got magnitude. So what is magnitude of the closing error? It is this one. You can see in the formula, E is the closing error, which is nothing but A dash, and it is equal to square root of summation L square plus summation D square. Let me tell you what are these summation L square plus summation D square in the next problem when you will be solving. So remember that this vertical projection of the closing error is nothing but summation L. So if you remember, you have understood what is latitude and what is departure. So when you have a line in a certain quadrant, so that line, the projection of that line on the meridian, that is assumed meridian, is called latitude, and projection of that line on the line perpendicular to the meridian, that will be departure. So based on the same definition, this closing error is in some quadrant, then vertical projection of that closing error is latitude, that is summation L, and horizontal projection of the closing error is summation D, that is nothing but sum of departures. So why the word summation is given for these two, you will understand in the next problem when we will be solving. Now direction of the closing error will be the delta 1, what you have been seeing. The angle delta is nothing but the direction of closing error. In which direction the closing error is, you can easily identify. And if you want to know what is the angle, then you can have the tan delta. So if you just look at this triangle, so delta, opposite side of delta is summation D and adjacent side is summation L. So tan delta will be is equal to summation D divided by summation L, right? So delta will be equal to tan inverse of summation D divided by summation L. You can easily calculate the angle at which the closing error is. So the first formula gives you the magnitude of the closing error, and second formula gives you the direction, right? So let us see how to rectify their closing error. So you have observed the bearing and length in the field. You have come to office, then you have drawn this into a paper, then you found that the last point and the first point are different. They are supposed to be same because it is a closed travel. So the difference between the last point and the first point is nothing but the closing error here. And what is the length of the closing error? You can calculate by the formula there, and you can even calculate the direction of the closing error. And let us see how to rectify the error. So if you just look at the rectification, it is called as balancing of triangles, right? So removing the closing error or applying the correction for the closing error is called as balancing of triangles. So balancing generally includes correcting the latitude and departure of all the lines. So when you have the latitude and departure of all the lines, then you can easily rectify them. So here one thing you need to understand, that when it is a closed traverse, so whenever the traverse is a closed traverse, when you calculate the latitude and departure of all the lines, you know how to calculate the latitude and departure of the lines. So L cos theta is latitude and L sin theta is the departure. So for all the lines, you know what is the length of the lines, because in the previous table you have seen that there is a column where the length is written and there is a column where the bearing is written, right? So theta is nothing but the bearing and L is nothing but the length of the line. So L cos theta is nothing but the latitude and L sin theta is the departure of the lines. So there are 5 lines we have seen, and all the 5 lines can give you 5 latitudes and 5 departure. And you have even seen that the latitude and departure will be plus or minus. So when you have plus or minus, so when all the latitudes are added in the sense what? Geometrically, right? So considering the plus and minus sign. So when you add them, so it should be equal to 0. Sum of latitudes should be equal to 0. Also sum of departure must be equal to 0 for a closed traverse. So remember, whenever the traverse is a closed traverse, sum of the latitudes and sum of the departure should be 0. That is what you can see in the last sentence here. So sum of latitude should be equal to 0 and sum of departure should be equal to 0. This is the condition, right? This is the condition to check whether there is an error or not, right? So there are methods to rectify or to balance the traverse. So how to correct the latitudes and departure of all the lines when you know that summation L is not equal to 0 or summation D is equal to is not equal to 0. So when you know that there is an error, then how to correct that? So there are 2 methods. The first method is Bowditch method and the second method is transit method. Actually there is one more method which is graphical method, so which is not there in your syllabus, but still if you want you can go through that, right? So the first method is Bowditch method and second method is transit method. So they are almost same and they are only different in their formula. So let us see what is Bowditch and transit method. So the first one, Bowditch method. So here how the correction is being calculated. Look at the formula, you can easily understand that every latitude and departure can be corrected, right? So the correction can be calculated like this. So look at the formula, correction to latitude or departure of any side in the sense any line. So correction to latitude or departure of any side will be equal to total error in latitude or departure. Total error in latitude or departure. This is what is summation L, summation D. Total error in latitude is summation L and total error in departure is summation D. Why it is called as error is because summation L should be equal to 0. If there is no error, then summation L should be equal to 0 and summation D should be equal to 0. Sum of latitudes should be equal to 0 and sum of departures must be equal to 0. Since it is not 0, then you can call itself as the error. Summation L itself is the error in latitude. Summation D itself is the error in departure, right? And this multiplied by length of that side, that is nothing but length of that line divided by perimeter of the traverse. Perimeter in the sense sum of all the lengths. Perimeter means what? You just go on adding the length of the total traverse or nothing but the length of all the lines together. The total length is going to be the perimeter of the traverse. So length of each line divided by length of the all lines, right? So if you multiply this to the error, you will get what is the correction to be applied to one latitude of that particular line, because whatever the length of the line you put here, so you will get the correction for that line. So there is a direct connection here, right? So whose correction you need, that length you need to put here. right? So you can even write it in a symbolic form like this. CL is nothing but correction for latitude. So correction for latitude of that line will be equal to summation L, the total error in latitude, that is this. So total error in latitude multiplied by length of that line divided by perimeter of the traverse. So L by summation L. So summation L into L by summation L. I hope you are able to understand what is this summation L and what is this summation L. So this is small letter L and this is capital letter L. Capital letter L denotes latitude. Small letter L denotes length. So this is the total length of the perimeter. I mean total length of the traverse, and this is the total error in the latitude, nothing but sum of latitudes. In a similar way, correction for departure will be equal to summation D multiplied by L by summation L. So here it is sum of departure. Clear? So this is Bodich's method. So when you compare this with the transit method, you don't find any difference other than the formula, right? So in both the methods you will find out the correction to be applied for one of the line. Then you apply that correction and find out the corrected latitude. So you will understand that in the problem how the correction is to be applied. Okay. So when you finish this video, when you finish seeing this video, when you understand the problem, then come back and watch the video again so that you understand what I am talking about here. Okay. Now the second method is transit method. Here only, as I have told you, the difference is only the formula. So what the formula says here, correction to latitude or departure of any side is equal to total error in latitude or departure multiplied by latitude or departure of that line divided by arithmetic sum of latitudes or departures. So here the formula goes like this, correction for the latitude of that line. So this remains same, total error in the latitude or departure, right? Same as last case. So here it was length of that line divided by total length of the perimeter, right? Now here latitude of that line divided by arithmetic sum of latitudes. So when you add all the latitudes without considering the sign, remember it is arithmetic sum, right? So it is not algebraic sum. So it is arithmetic sum, means you need to neglect the plus minus signs and you need to add all the latitudes. So latitude of that line divided by sum of latitudes, right? That will give you the correction for latitude of that line. In a similar way, correction for departure will be equal to summation D, that is nothing but the total error in the departure multiplied by departure of that line divided by arithmetic sum of the departures. So you need to add all the departures without considering the plus minus sign, right? So this will give you the departure for, correction for departure for that particular line. So for every line you need to calculate latitude correction and departure correction. Then you need to add or subtract that correction to the latitude observed, then you will get the corrected latitude. That you will be able to understand with the problem. So let us see how the problem is going to be solved. So this is one problem what you have here. Plot the following compass traverse and adjust the closing error if any. So this is what the observation made. So there is line AB, BC, CD, DE, then EA. 5 lines. Length of all the lines are given here and bearing is given: south 88 degree east, south 6 degree east, south 40 degree west, north 81 degree west, north 48 degree east. So if you just look at the bearings here, so the bearings are in terms of quadrantal bearing system, right? So you should be familiar with both quadrantal bearing system as well as whole circle bearing system. So as I have told you, if you have any problem or any doubts regarding the conversion from one bearing system to another bearing system, you are free to call. We will have a Google meeting and then we will rectify your doubts. Okay. So here scale of plotting, because he has asked you to plot the following compass traverse. So plotting is necessary. So when plotting is necessary, the length conversion is necessary. because 130 meter is the length. So that length you cannot draw it in the paper. So you need to reduce that into some scale. So scale he himself has given 1 centimeter is equal to 20 meters. So that means what? 20 meter length in the field should be drawn as 1 centimeter in the paper. So you can understand that 130 meter. So 130 meter in the sense what? For every 20 meter you are supposed to draw 1 centimeter. So how many 20s are there? So it is 6 20s. So 6 centimeter plus one more 10 meter. So that becomes 130 meter. Right. So 10 meter means you need to draw half centimeter. Right. 0.5 centimeter. So it is going to be 6.5 centimeter length of line AB should be drawn 6.5 centimeter. So in what direction it should be drawn? It should be drawn in southeast direction, right? So remember that if it is not like this, then south 88 degree east, southeast quadrant is this. So it is going to be almost 90 degree because slightly less than like this. So this is line A, clear? So in a similar way you are supposed to draw all the lines with the given length converting into some scale. So this is the scale given, right? Now let us see how the problem can be solved with the help of Bowditch method. So this is what the table you need to have first. Line which is given, length which is also given, bearing which is given, latitude and departure which are the one which you are supposed to calculate. So there is a formula here, L is equal to L cos theta, D is equal to L sin theta. That is what the formula we are using for calculating latitude and departure. So L is given, theta is also given, you just have to put them into this formula and calculate all the values. Look at these values. So these are the values calculated, and you know why this minus plus minus plus plus minus, because so latitude and departure have got sign, right? So northing and southing, easting and westing. So when you have such a table ready where plus and minus sign are playing very important role, you should be very careful, right? So make sure that you write them correctly. Of course, when you are calculating latitude and departure, this theta should be the value here what you have as an angle. If it is given in whole circle bearing system, then plus minus can be automatically generated. You remember in the problem what we have solved in the previous class. So theta was given in terms of whole bearing system. Then simply substituting theta into the given that is latitude formula, you used to get the plus or minus automatically whatever it is. Now here in quadrantal bearing system, when the bearings are given in terms of quadrantal bearing system, then you yourself have to put plus or minus sign. That is very important. So southeast quadrant, first line AB, southeast quadrant, latitude will be negative, departure will be positive. That is the reason why I have here written minus and plus, right? So it is going to be 130 cos 88 is this, and 130 sin 88 will be this, right? So this will be plus, this will be minus, because in southeast quadrant latitude is minus, departure is plus. In a similar way, second one also is in southeast quadrant, so minus plus, and here it is in southwest quadrant. In southwest quadrant both will be negative, so southwest both minus sign you can see here, right? So northwest latitude will be positive, departure will be negative, and in northeast quadrant both will be positive, right? So closing error, how will you identify that whether there is a closing error? By adding all the latitudes. So algebraic sum. So when you add them considering the plus and minus sign, you should get it 0. Summation L should be equal to 0 and summation D should be equal to 0. But you are getting some value here. It is not 0, it is 0.9311. So 0.9311 should not be considered 0. Remember, there is an error, and error is how much? Error in latitude is this itself. In the formula of Bowditch method, you have seen that summation L is the total error in latitudes. So this itself is the total error in latitude, and this is total error in departure. This should be 0.5361. So make a correction there. So it is 0.5361. So I will put up a point here. So it is minus 0.5361, right? So minus 0.5361 and this is plus 0.9311. So total error in latitude is this much, total error in departure is this much. So this is the first way of identifying whether there is a closing error or not. So now by this you understood that there is a closing error. How to rectify latitudes and departure? How to correct the latitude and departure? Let us see that now. Now if you just look at the table, you can understand that half of the table is ready now. So line, length, bearing, latitude and departure. Till that point, till this column, it is there. So that is what you have got here, right? So these four columns are the one which you are supposed to have. Correction for latitude, correction for departure, corrected latitude and corrected departure. So these are the corrections to be applied, and after applying the correction to these latitudes you will get the corrected latitude, right? So latitude plus or minus correction will give you corrected latitude. Departure plus or minus correction for departure will give you corrected departure, right? So how will you calculate the correction for latitude, because this table is done till this. So now the next column is correction for latitude. Since it is Bordich method, then the formula is to be Bordich here. Whether it is Bordich rule or transit rule, both are same in terms of solution. Only the formula will vary here. So the correction for latitude will be equal to summation L into L by summation L. So I need sum of perimeters, so that is why I have taken even sum of the perimeter here. So sum of all the lengths here, 130 plus 158 plus 145 plus 308 plus 337 will give you this value. That is summation L, small letter L here. So this denominator is this 1078. Then small letter L, which is nothing but the length of that line. So AB, if you are calculating for, the length of AB is 130. So this small letter L is 130 and the summation denominator is 1078. And what is this summation L? This summation L is the latitude correction. So 0.9311 is the correction for latitude, right? Now if you calculate the correction for latitude, you will get these values, right? All these values are correction for latitude. In a similar way, when you apply the correction for departure, you will get this, right? So minus 0.0647 is this, right? So whenever you calculate the correction, you need to understand that you need to remember the formula and find out the correction for the latitudes and departure. Now you need to add or subtract to get the corrected latitude. So this line, this column is the correction applied. So these are the corrected latitudes and these are the corrected departures. Now how to get these values is, you have the wrong latitudes here. So these are wrong latitudes. Adding these wrong latitudes to the correction or subtracting the correction will give you this latitude. Whether to add the correction or to subtract the correction, let us see that. So look at the sign for summation L. This is error, right? So if the error is positive, then the correction will be negative. Remember this. So this latitude minus correction will give you this corrected latitude. Understood what I am saying? First observe what is the sign for summation L. If it is positive, then you need to subtract the correction. So latitude minus correction will give you the corrected latitude. So this entire column, all these values are being obtained by subtracting these corrections from these latitudes. These are the wrong ones because they have the error. So erroneous latitude minus correction will give you this. Here, in a similar way, this departure plus or minus correction for departure will give you the corrected departure. So once again you need to see the sign here. So it is minus 0.5361. So 0 point is missing here. So I hope you will understand that the correction is to be applied here. So minus 0.5367. So it is minus. So the correction is positive. So you need to add this, right? So departure plus correction will give you this, the corrected departure. I hope you are able to understand. This column plus this column will give you this column, right? So it is 129.9208 plus minus 0.0647. You need to consider whatever the sign here, whether it is plus or minus, but plus because you are going to add these values. So automatically that will become plus, because plus of minus will become automatically minus. So don't worry about that, right? So 129.920, this also you should consider, plus 129.9208, then plus, then minus 0.0647, that will give you this value. Understood this? So this is the way how you are supposed to forward and get the values, right? So when to add, when to subtract, I hope you are able to understand this, right? So finally, when you are done with all the corrections being done for all the lines, then when you add all these corrected latitudes, you should get the sum equal to 0. So look at that, in the last table, the sum is equal to 0. Corrected latitude sum, corrected departure sum. So sum of all the corrected latitudes, that is summation L, is equal to 0. Sum of all the corrected departures is equal to 0, that is summation D is equal to 0. So you only when you get these two values 0, that means the problem is correct, I mean the solution is correct. So if these are not 0, then the solution is wrong. Understood this? So this is how the problem is to be solved. Whether it is Bowditch rule or transit rule, the solution remains same. Even the table, this table remains same. Only thing that changes is only the formula for correction of latitude and correction for departure. So only the formula will change. The entire solution will remain same. So I hope you will be able to solve such problems if at all such problems are being asked in the examination. So most of the times you don't get problems on this, but in case if you get, then you should be able to solve this, right? So this completes your entire module on compass surveying. So the next module will be on labeling. So let us have fresh mind with the next topic. So I hope you will be able to cope up with this, and if at all, I request everyone, if at all if you have any doubts, you ask me so that we can have a Google Meet and solve your doubts in there, right?